Hello, my name is Kim, and welcome to a timeless reading where we are going to find out what is next in your immediate future, your near future, and your farthest future from now. To be more specific, the farthest future from now that Spirit will allow for us to take a sneak peek at. Now, I do want to let you guys know ahead of time that when it comes to time predictions, I will only be offering them if they do come up in the reading, right? If I am picking up on a specific time frame, date, then I will let you know. I personally find time predictions to be a bit tricky because I believe that not everything is set in stone, and energy being so malleable and fluid doesn't always have a set time or date. Things can end up being pushed back, prolonged, or hurried up, depending on the current energy, depending on how things are unfolding. So please do keep that in mind if I do end up offering any time predictions. So with that being said, let us take a closer look at the options. So there are 3 different groups to choose from, each one represented by a different oracle deck. Group 1 is the What's in Your Stars oracle deck. Group 2 is the Salt and Sea Energy oracle deck. And group 3 is the Art oracle deck. Please take a moment to meditate on the options. Whichever deck you are drawn to the most, that will be the group that will have the messages meant for you. And once you have selected a group, please head on over to the pinned comment in the comment section down below or the description box to find the timestamps that will allow you to skip ahead to your selected group. And if you are ready, then let us get started. Let's go. Hello, if you were drawn to the What's in Your Stars oracle deck, bienvenidos to your reading. So when meditating on the energy of this group, the word advocate came to mind. So soon you may be advocating for yourself or for others, or others may be advocating for you or for a cause that you are a part of. I am sensing solidarity and camaraderie. So in the coming days, or what is next, is you receiving the support and the solidarity of peers, colleagues, friends, family members, or you finding out who is on your team, who has your back, who is willing and wanting to stand by you, advocate for you, and vouch for you. Yeah, I'm sensing there's going to be some vouching. Either you will vouch for another, or someone or others will end up vouching for you. Or what else is coming through is someone might be experiencing disappointment because someone who they expected would vouch for them didn't end up vouching for them or standing by them or with them. So that is why I mentioned that what is next is you possibly coming to terms with or having an awareness of who is on your side, who has your back. Okay, so now I'm going to work with the tarot, and I'm going to set this oracle deck aside because I will be working with it near the end of your reading. So let us find out what is next. And I wanted to do something along the lines of finding out what is next in your immediate future, in your near future, and in your farther future, right? So the cards will be set in that way. The first column on my left would be looking at your immediate future. The middle column will be your near future, and the right column would be your farther future, or the farthest future from now. Okay, so let us see. So I'm going to divide the deck, and let me just check that everything is in frame. It is. Okay, so for your immediate future, we have the 3 of Cups and the Knight of Cups to clarify. For your near future, we have the 4 of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles. And for your farthest future, or farther from now, we have the Ace of Wands with the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so let us begin with your immediate future. So we have the Knight of Swords, the Ten of Swords, and the Sun. So the Three of Cups often represents friendship, like-minded people coming together, social gatherings. It also indicates joy, merriment, and celebration. So being clarified by the Knight of Swords, this makes me think of a call to action. Very soon, you might need, as mentioned before, the support of one or more friends, peers, colleagues, maybe family members. And I'm sensing that some people will heed your call. They will come in or come through like a knight in shining armor to defend you, to stand by you, to be there for you, whilst there might be other people or maybe just one individual who might not show up. They might be a no-show. And that's where the Ten of Swords comes through, because the Ten of Swords can sometimes indicate betrayal. But the Ten of Swords, being the number 10, can also indicate endings that could lead to new beginnings, that could lead to happy outcomes. And the reason why I take a moment to clarify that is because we do have the Sun card showing up, which is a card that speaks of success, happiness, joy, optimism, positivity, and freedom. It is also a card that can indicate revelations, right? Truth, the truth coming out. So what I'm seeing here is clarity. As mentioned already, you will have clarity about who is on your side, or maybe who has or shares the same viewpoints as you, the same principles as you, because this could be a situation where maybe you are defending something, right? You are advocating for a certain cause. And as you are advocating for this cause, you come to realize who is also advocating with you, who also believes in the same cause that you believe in, and who maybe doesn't care much for it or opposes it. That's another situation I'm seeing here. Clarity about who around you is a like-minded individual, who around you shares your same principles, your same values, your same beliefs, or maybe even ideologies, right? And this is coming through, at least based on the cards, as a good thing, because it's coming through as you having clarity, as you then being able to find the people who you can identify with, who you can maybe confide in, or who you can talk about those matters that you care much about, because you know that these are people who care as much as you care about these specific matters. Or the other situation I'm seeing is you finding out again who is a reliable figure in your life, who doesn't go back on their word is another thing I'm seeing, because this could be a situation as well where maybe a lot of people promised the same thing, but then when the time came, only a few people delivered or came through on their promise, right? And so this situation here also reveals to you who has been giving you lip service versus who has not, right? Or simply who you can rely on, who you can depend on, who is truthful, who has been honest and sincere. I also see the situation clearing any suspicions, right? Or maybe confirming to you what you already know, and that giving you peace of mind, because the baby here in the Sun card looks so happy. And I feel like this will be you at the end, right? Although there could be some disappointments or letdowns is what I heard in my mind. At the end, I see you being quite happy, quite pleased with the knowledge, with the clarity that you have received, because I do see you also having received confirmation that there are people on your side, that there are people who you can maybe relate to, who are comrades in arms, is what I heard, or who believe in the same things that you believe in. What I'm sensing here is you coming to realize that you do not stand alone. Right? right? And I do see victory, right? Because the Sun card can indicate success. So if there is some kind of situation where you are fighting for something, where you are seeking support from others in order to get something approved, is what I heard, or to make something happen, to experience some kind of breakthrough, then with the Sun card, know that you will be experiencing this breakthrough. Whatever your goal is, you will be reaching it. You will be achieving it, with the help of those who did heed your call, right? With the help of those who did stand by you or help you out or ended up working with you to make whatever this is happen. I'm also seeing this being a situation where somewhat or more than one person comes to your defense, right? So maybe you are at a social gathering and a lot of people are talking, yapping, and they're being very careless with their words in a way that ends up affecting you or targeting you or something along those lines. And someone comes in to stop that or to defend you or to set some boundaries, right? But the Sun card makes me think of compliments. So I do see someone or more than one person coming in to speak highly of you, to compliment you. I heard to clear your name or to vouch for you, as mentioned before, right? And again, this will maybe serve as a confirmation as to who has your back, even when you're not around, right? Because this could be a situation where this person or individuals will be speaking highly of you, will be speaking in your favor, even when you're not in the room, even when you have your back turned towards them, right? So with the Sun card, this lets me know that at the end of all of this, the people that will be remaining, is what I heard, the people that will remain by your side will be loyal friends, will be good friends, will be respectable figures, or people who you can rely on, depend on, or who you can fight with, is also what I heard, who you can make things happen with or work with. And I also get the feeling that misunderstandings will be cleared up. So if right now there are some misunderstandings, they will get cleared up. That's what is in your immediate future. The truth coming to light. And you coming out of a situation where there were misunderstandings, where there was maybe miscommunication or some kind of conflict or disagreement, triumphant. You coming out of it victorious or clear is what I heard. Yeah, so if this is a situation where maybe people were trying to dump something on you, or I keep hearing this expression in my mind. I'm not even sure if it is an expression, but like drag your name through the mud, or make you look bad or something along those lines, then know at the end your name will be cleared. Whatever lies, whatever gossip people were trying to form about you, they will be obliterated. Because with the baby here, the feeling I get is you coming out of this squeaky clean. Nothing having tarnished you or tarnished your reputation or anything of the sort. You're coming out of this squeaky clean, triumphant, victorious, with your head held high. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to your near future. By the way, before I move on to your near future, zodiac signs I want to point out that seems to be playing a significant role in your immediate future are the zodiac sign Leo and Gemini with the Knight of Swords. Though I'm picking up on Libra and Scorpio as well, because I'm picking up on strong Scorpio vibes for whatever reason. So now I'm going to move on to your near future. We have the Four of Pentacles. Let me make room. Clarified by the Eight of Swords, the Six of Cups, and the Two of Wands. Okay, so I need more room. So the Four of Pentacles can indicate holding on. It can indicate a resistance to letting go, in other words, which is why the Four of Pentacles can also indicate a need for control or to control. But this card can also represent security or stability. So I'm seeing different situations here. So bear with me as I go through each one. The first situation I'm sensing is some kind of standstill. Either you are currently waiting on someone to get back to you, and as you're waiting, you might be feeling like you're kind of stuck. You can't really move forward because you need this person to get back to you in order to then move forward, right? This is a situation where maybe you need an approval of sorts or crucial information to then be able to, again, move forward or know how to move forward, know how to proceed. The other situation that I'm sensing is you could be waiting for someone who is also waiting for you, right? It's a situation where two people are waiting on each other to make a move, but neither are making any kind of move. And so there is some kind of standstill. And while both of these individuals, or how many individuals involved, are waiting, they're kind of questioning or doubting themselves. They're doubting the whole situation. There's a lot of inner doubt I'm sensing with the Eight of Swords. The word questioning keeps coming to mind. There's a lot of questioning, maybe about what another's intentions are, or about whether or not to take action, to move forward, to come forward, for example, and so forth. Now, another situation that I'm seeing is that the ball may be currently on your court, right? So maybe you are the one who someone else is waiting for to make some kind of decision. Because we do have the Six of Cups here, which in the illustration we have someone presenting a vase or a cup of flowers to another, makes me think of an offer. So I wonder if maybe recently you have been extended an offer, or you foresee an offer being extended to you, right? Like maybe right now you're in the process of something that could eventually lead to an offer being extended to you, and you see that, you foresee that. But right now, or maybe that this is what is next in your near future, is you kind of wondering, more like questioning whether to take this offer or not, whether you would want to, whether it would be a good idea. Or what I'm also picking up from the Eight of Swords, which only, again, take it if it resonates with you, is a doubt around whether or not you are worthy of this offer, whether or not you are ready for it, because I am sensing a deep-seated insecurity coming through with the Eight of Swords. Maybe this could be pertaining to an inferiority complex, or maybe a fear of disappointing, a fear of being disappointed, or of not meeting expectations, right? Not getting something right is what I heard. And these fears, these insecurities, this complex could be making someone doubt whether or not they should take an offer they really want to take. So if any of this resonates with you, then what I see next in your near future is you getting answers, right? Because, for example, if you've been waiting for someone, if you've been waiting on someone, they will be coming forth, right? You will be hearing from them, and what you will be hearing from them will be quite positive, because we have the Six of Cups here, which again makes me think of an offer. It also makes me think of reciprocation, because the Six of Cups does indicate reciprocity. It's a soulmate card. It's a card that also indicates familiarity and innocence, childlike wonder. So I do see you hearing back from whoever it is that you're waiting on or waiting to hear from. And once you hear back from this person, once you receive some kind of communication from them or an offer, that's when I see things being set into motion, because we do have the Two of Wands, which can indicate decisions, planning, travel. The Two of Wands, interestingly enough, can also indicate waiting. So this feels like steps being taken. This feels like something that does have a lot of steps to it, or this back and forth, right? I keep thinking of like a chess game. Like one person makes a move and then another person makes a move. But, one of the two people has to make a move for the game to continue. And so what I'm seeing here is, if you're waiting for someone to make a move because you have already made a move, then what is next in the near future is this person making a move. And then you, after they make a move, it will be your turn to make a move. Then you will have to decide upon something, make some kind of decision. Or if, for example, right now there is some kind of standstill or stalemate is also what I heard, then it's very likely that you might be the one to make a move next. You might be the one coming forward, making some kind of decision or speaking up. Or this could be a situation where when you're about to say something, when you're about to come forth, the other person who maybe you've been waiting on or waiting for will also come forth sort of at the same time. And then you have like a little chat. You have I heard a reveal, some kind of moment where all cards are laid on the table. You share with each other your intentions, your plans, maybe, and that's when you start maybe thinking about the future, thinking about how you want to move forward or what you want to do next, maybe together as a pair, as a duo, as a couple, as a team, or individually. But if you find yourself dealing with insecurities, if you find yourself doubting yourself or doubting a situation, doubting another person's intentions, know that you will be overcoming those insecurities or something will help you overcome them, because I see you receiving confirmation that will help you overcome an insecurity, a fear, or release a doubt, right? And that will also help you move forward or take some kind of action. So, for example, let's say you're waiting to hear back from someone and they haven't reached back to you, and all this time that you're waiting, you're wondering, is this person interested in me? Are they interested in what I do? Are they interested in working with me, etc.? Then all these doubts will be cleared. These worries will be obliterated when you receive an offer. Maybe a job offer, if this is about maybe a job opportunity. Maybe you've been waiting to hear back from a place that you applied to, or you hear back from someone who you went on a date with, asking if you guys could go on another date, or someone confesses their feelings for you, or you receive notice that you have advanced to the next level, or that if you want to continue with something, you can. And once you receive this confirmation, once you receive this communication, that's when your fears, your doubts, your suspicions are debunked. What I heard is you are no longer a prisoner of your mind, I heard mental fears in specific, because the truth, the reality is showing you something different than what your mind was conjuring, that was worrying you. And then again, with the Two of Wands, I see you either then kind of needing to make a decision, then you finding yourself choosing something. The Two of Wands is also making me think of like moving forward, of planning. So this could be you planning with another. We do have two wands here, which makes me think of like a pair, a couple, a duo, kind of working together to make plans for the future, right? As a team, as a duo. The Two of Wands also makes me think of you getting ready to embark on an adventure, right? So for example, if this is about you receiving a job offer and then you deciding to say yes to this job offer, you getting ready to start your whole maybe training, your whole probation period, getting settled at this new workplace, and so forth. The Two of Wands can also indicate travel. Right, so some of you might actually be making preparations to travel, to move, maybe to relocate. Right, but I do see you needing to make a decision at some point. Yeah, so I feel like a lot of you could currently be waiting to hear back from someone, waiting to receive a response, a reply. And because you're waiting, you might feel like you can't really make a decision. It's not until you receive a response, a reply, an answer that then you will find yourself needing to, I heard, think things through, or needing to sit down with yourself and come to a conclusion. Yeah, so if right now you find yourself waiting, know that what is next in your near future is you no longer waiting, right? You then being the one needing to make some kind of move. The ball then being in your court. So with the Six of Cups, if you do find yourself needing to make a decision and, struggling with that, you're being advised to, I know this is going to sound very cheesy, but I heard trust in your heart, but what I was going to say was trust in your intuition. The Six of Cups makes me think of intuition, gut feelings, trust in your instincts. if something doesn't feel right to you, if you don't really feel inclined to say yes to something, if you don't find yourself being very excited about whatever is being offered to you, then consider that, truly consider that. Take a moment to contemplate the why that is, right? Because that could be your inner being letting you know this isn't it. Like, even though we were maybe waiting for this, deep down, we know that this isn't exactly what we want or what we need or what we have been waiting for, maybe, right? Maybe some of you just wanted some kind of confirmation, but like a confirmation that you could get the offer, for example, or that your instincts about someone, what they thought about you, how they felt about you were correct. But then once you receive this confirmation, then you have to kind of deal with the matter of, but do I want to proceed with this, right? Like, yes, I got the offer. I have confirmed to myself that yes, I could get the offer, but then do I want it? Do I want this offer, right? That's kind of the vibe that I'm picking up here. So with the Four of Pentacles, you're being advised to not let pride like manipulate your decision. There's nothing wrong with being proud, but I feel like what you're being advised is to, again, listen to your heart and be honest with yourself about what you truly want. And maybe even if you can, if you feel like it's healthy, the healthy thing to do, or it will help you out, consider why it is that you are thinking about saying yes to something. Like, what is the motive? What is the reason? And see if that reason, it's a solid reason, if it's something that you can stand behind later down the road. But this is what I'm seeing for your near future. And then for your like farther future, we have the Ace of Wands, clarified by the 10 of Pentacles, the Magician, very nice, and the King of Swords. Okay, so the Ace of Wands speaks of new beginnings. Aces always do. Wands often indicate passion, momentum, inspiration, action, and creativity. So there seems to be a new passionate beginning in your future. And with the 10 of Pentacles, the Magician, for a lot of you, this passionate new beginning could be in the area of life of career, endeavors, enterprises, work, could be studies as well. I also thought of reputation, your status, your financial status, your social status, or it could have something to do with family, the home, your social circle. The 10 of Pentacles can indicate unexpected financial windfall. It can also indicate an inheritance, but it basically is a card that indicates financial security, long-term financial security, generational wealth even. So what is next in your future is you experiencing a major breakthrough in your career that will lead to financial wealth, that will lead to financial abundance or a financial breakthrough, right? Because not only do I see you earning more money or profiting very well from an enterprise and endeavor, but I also see you leveling up in your career. As mentioned before, I do see your reputation coming into play here, where you are becoming a very reputable figure in your respective field, line of work, or you're gaining a positive reputation, especially because we have the King of Swords, which is a figure of authority, right? So this could be indicating, for example, you getting promoted to a position of authority, right? You becoming like an executive director, for example, or a supervisor, a manager. And not only is your status improving, not only do you have more authority, but you're also earning more from this higher position. So your financial situation is changing, but it's changing for the better. If you are, for example, an entrepreneur, if you are a freelancer, I do see an enterprise of yours doing very, very well, and you earning a lot from it. I don't know why, but the Magician all of a sudden made me think of a stylist, maybe because the person in the Magician card is so stylish, or a fashion designer that after their first runway or their most recent runway, they become the next big hits in the fashion industry, right? Because the runway, their most recent line of clothing, was such a hit, was a big hit, did so well, or a lot of like celebrities, a lot of people are wanting to get their hands on the pieces that this fashion designer has designed. And so they become a big name in the fashion industry and someone of authority, someone who now has choices. Because the King of Swords makes me think of someone who isn't settling because they have so many choices, because they can choose, they have that freedom, and even that luxury is how it's coming through. I mean, we always have the freedom to choose, we always do. Yet, if you've ever felt at a crossroads where not many options are available to you, and because of that, you find yourself settling for something that you don't really want, then this doesn't feel anything like that. It feels like the complete opposite of that, where again, you have choices and you feel at ease knowing that you can decline something and it's okay, that you don't have to settle. And this energy also makes me think of someone who is strategizing, someone who is making wise investments. So in your future, what is next is you actually maybe investing, right? Or you becoming a little bit more strategic when it comes to how you are handling your money, how you are investing it. You could be investing in another business or in your own business if you are a business owner, or if you're planning to launch a business very soon, because this whole combination makes me think of like big money moves, big career moves, right? Or this could be a situation where if you're earning more, then you find yourself needing to kind of start thinking about how to save that money, how to utilize that money, how to invest it, and so forth. The Magician often indicates influence and power, also willpower. And the magician is known for their skills. The magician is known to be kind of a master at their craft. So, what I also see is you becoming someone who is a reputable figure, again, in your career, in your line of work. You maybe becoming someone who a lot of people look up to, or who go to for advice, go to for feedback. I feel like in the future, a lot of newcomers, a lot of people who are maybe training for something, who are practicing a craft, will be looking to you as a teacher. You're coming through sort of as a teacher. I wonder if some of you are teachers, but even if you aren't, a lot of people could be learning from you, or be learning a lot from your work, through your work, or just seeing you as a master, maybe as a master of your own craft. Even if you yourself don't feel like you have mastered something yet, that's how others might still be perceiving you, as a master, or someone who is very skillful, very good at what they do. If you have applied for scholarships, right, if you are thinking of pursuing higher education, or if you ever think about doing so and applying to scholarships, it is suggested for you to do so, because these cards are very promising. These cards indicate that you have won a scholarship, or you have received some kind of financial grant that allows for you to pursue your higher education or move on to the next level of your education, of your career. Yeah, because the King of Swords is very logical, very smart, and under the King of Swords we have the Page of Swords, which also is a very intellectual figure of the court. So yeah, I do see you becoming someone who is very knowledgeable about a certain subject topic, or who has gained more knowledge, more wisdom, as well as experience, because you're coming through as someone who is seen as being experienced. But the Ace of Wands also lets me know that there's a lot of creativity in your future. So what is next is you coming up with new ideas and executing those ideas. You also having the resources, the funds to be able to execute your ideas. Some of you could actually be selling an idea of yours, or you could be earning a lot of money, profiting a lot from an idea of yours, from maybe a project. Yeah, because the Magician is letting me know that you're using your skills, you're using your individual talents to help you excel in your career, in your line of work, in school, or in a profession. And the Ten of Pentacles lets me know there's going to be a lot of talk about you or about your work. You know what this all of a sudden made me think of? The Olympics, right? Like an athlete reaching the Olympics, right? And then all of these people in the Ten of Pentacles are representing the, what is it? The, not the jury, the people who give the scores. So this makes me think of reaching a height in your career. So you could be reaching, or you will be reaching, a new height in your career. And the Ace of Wands makes me think of a year. It could be within a year or in a year's time. This may be occurring for you, right? This could also be a buildup, because the Ten of Pentacles, although it can indicate an unexpected financial windfall, you getting like your big break in your career, in your line of work, for example, I also feel like this could be indicating a buildup, right? You're working your way up to this point. So for example, as the year progresses, right, you're gaining more and more popularity, because that's something else the Magician can also indicate. You're becoming a more reputable figure in your line of work. You are starting to earn more and more and more. You're profiting more and more and more from your business, from an endeavor, from an enterprise, until you find yourself reaching this point where you feel financially secure. You feel like you've made it, or like you have reached that next level in your career, or you find yourself being a figure of authority, or maybe being in that position that you are currently working to be in, if that is the case for you. Yeah, but I do see you standing out in a good way. I do see you shining bright. So this lets me know that you will be utilizing your skills, your talents in the future, or you will be profiting from something that you're quite skilled at, or that you're quite passionate about. You will be profiting maybe from your creativity, your ingenuity, also your originality, your eccentricity is also what I heard. Yeah, so remember what was mentioned before, right? If for example, an offer, career offer, an opportunity presents itself to you, follow your heart, follow your intuition, your instincts. If you find yourself going back and forth on whether or not to accept this offer, to go for this opportunity or not, because the Magician is all about intuition and instincts. So go with what calls to you, go with what you feel yourself gravitating to, because that's where the money will be. That's where you will be experiencing these breakthroughs. And I do see you being later down the road offered a huge career opportunity. All of a sudden, this made me think of a casting call. All these people talking in the Ten of Pentacles again made me think of like a line of people kind of like reviewing another, or considering someone who is auditioning or who is performing, something along those lines. And then the King of Swords is representing like that final decision, and you are coming through as the Magician. And then the Ace of Wands is representing a yes, a success, a big break, again, in your career, for example. Yeah, if this is about a callback, if you're auditioning for something, I do see you receiving a callback. I do see you receiving an offer. Yeah, look what's under the Page of Swords, the Six of Wands, which indicates success. Success, triumph, popularity, victory, and also positive or good reputation. So yeah, that's what I see in your future. Beautiful. Yeah, this also makes me think of gaining traction in your career, maybe in an industry as well. More positive attention, more engagement. Yes, but this is what I'm seeing. So now I'm going to draw out an extra oracle card to get any last messages, advice, and or guidance for you guys in regards to what is next. Okay, so a lot of cards keep falling out, so I'm just going to take them And we have create space with Pisces material, the key phrase, a house without walls, and the message, when the walls start to close in, you need to find wide open spaces. Dissolve the boundaries. It may be that you need more space in your calendar or the freedom to let yourself wander. Interesting. Looking at this card, what came to mind is create space for yourself, create space for you to breathe, create space for you to think, for you to imagine. Don't be afraid to color outside of the lines every once in a while or see things from a different perspective, from a different angle. Also, do not be afraid to let loose. It's okay to feel angry and frustrated. You don't always have to be so composed, right? This doesn't mean wreak havoc or lose control of your senses, but rather allow yourself to feel. Emotions such as frustration and anger are not bad, they are not negative, they are not harmful. They are only harmful to us if we repress them, because then they build up, they fester, right? And I heard they could end up, this is what I heard in my mind, strange. They could end up affecting our immune system. I don't know if that's true. That's just what came to mind, okay? And they could also be harmful if we act upon them or let them steer our actions in a way that isn't constructive, in a way that is reckless, right? But it is okay for you to feel. So create space for your emotions. Create space for you. We also have jubilation or restlessness with Sagittarius and emotion, and the key phrase, a dolphin jumps above the waves. A feeling of jubilation can lift you up. There can be acceleration as you look to move forward. However, a need for movement can at times leave you feeling restless. Try to manage your agitation and question why you feel blocked from progress. Yeah, so this is what I was picking up with that Four of Pentacles energy. So I wonder if this is how you are currently feeling, or maybe if you're starting to feel restless because you are waiting on something, or you feel like you can't really make a move. If that is the case, maybe what will help is you focusing on that which you can right now, let's say, control, or you can participate in that which you can't right now make some moves in, right? Because focusing on that which is out of our control will only create this feeling of powerlessness, right? Which is what the Eight of Swords can sometimes indicate, a feeling of powerlessness, which isn't exactly true, because you aren't completely powerless. There are things that you can still do, right? There are things that you can still make moves in or change, but it just requires for you to focus on those, right? Prioritize those for the meantime. And maybe what will also help is shifting your mindset from, oh, I feel stuck because I'm waiting for this to happen for me, versus I'm so excited for the possibilities of what can happen and I'm looking forward to it all. But meanwhile, I'm going to focus on whatever is at hand. Meanwhile, I'm going to focus on these other things that are happening in my life, right? Because remember, your life doesn't depend on one thing, right? Sometimes it might feel like it might really feel and seem like it, but your whole life isn't built around one single moment, one single event. Your life, like you, is intricate and is multifaceted. So yeah, maybe if you're hyper focusing on something that right now is out of your hands, let's say, then maybe see if you can focus on something else that you can like work with right now, that you can get your hands on, for example, and see if that changes anything for you. But then we also have security or insecurity with Leo and emotion, and the expression standing in the spotlight with, if you are able to step forward into the spotlight with confidence and poise, relish this feeling of security. However, if you are experiencing insecurity, trust that real self-expression will help to shift that feeling. Yeah, so I feel like in the future, what is next is you standing in the spotlight, or the spotlight shifting on to you. And so if right now you are dealing with some insecurities, right? If there is an offer that you see coming, that you're kind of questioning whether you're ready for it, don't let ideas such as, I need to be 100% confident in myself before I allow myself to start living my life to the fullest, before I start accepting those offers that I've always wanted. Because that kind of mindset can limit you. Because oftentimes the confidence comes after the fact, after we have taken on the opportunity, after we are working through things. It doesn't come before, right? And I do feel like what is next is you feeling self-assured. It's you maybe having gained some confidence if you feel like right now you're lacking it, after you have allowed yourself to just be, because this sentence, self-expression will help to shift that feeling, is really standing out to me. And the reason why is because you guys got the Magician, and the Magician is about self-expression. The Magician isn't afraid to be who they are. They are brilliant because they have allowed themselves to be themselves. So yeah, what might be setting you free is self-expression. What might be setting you free or helping you feel a little bit more confident in yourself, confident in your skills, confident in your ideas, is you releasing any kind of expectations that make you believe that you have to be a certain way, that you have to look a certain way, that things have to look a certain way. And by you releasing that, you start trusting more in setting your intuition and your instincts and what feels right to you. And that ends up guiding you to some kind of major breakthrough in your career, or helps you with aligning with opportunities and offers that you truly end up resonating with. Right? But I do feel like you're going from insecurity to security, because I was picking up on some insecurity with the Eight of Swords. And then you end up with the Magician and the King of Swords, which are very assertive, authoritative figures. So this is a really nice shift. Yeah, and if you're feeling confident about something, if you're feeling yourself, if you're feeling good, then relish in that feeling. Enjoy it. Enjoy the moment. And remember that you can feel like you're still learning. You can feel like you're still getting the hang of something, while at the same time experiencing some level of confidence. Both can be true, right? There could be moments of doubt while there being moments of utter complete bliss and certainty. Yeah, so if at times you feel like you're still figuring things out, like there's still a lot to learn, there's still a lot to see, a lot to maybe improve upon, that doesn't mean that you haven't reached the level of proficiency, or that you still don't know what you're doing, or that you haven't grown, right? Because both can be true. You could have grown while still be growing. But these are all the messages that are coming through for you guys. Things I want to point out: zodiac signs, I mentioned Leo, Scorpio, Libra, as well as Gemini. The Magician, especially Gemini, because the Magician is associated with the zodiac sign Gemini. And then we have Pisces, Sagittarius, and then Leo again. So Leo, Gemini, and Libra seem to be of significance. These could also be important seasons to look out for. I heard solstice. I feel like this Ace of Wands is representing a solstice. So the time during a solstice could be of significance. And a solstice occurs twice a year, when the sun reaches the highest or lowest point in the sky. Yeah, so the time around the solstice could be of significance. Could be when you will be achieving maybe a major career breakthrough, or will be getting your big break, or will be experiencing some kind of positive momentum in your line of work, in your career, profession, reputation, etc. Okay, but these are all the messages coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought you some guidance and clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you're new to this channel and you wish to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. To all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them play in the background, thank you so much for that, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. Before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit guides for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. Thank you so very much. And I'm wishing you and your loved ones a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending on when you are watching. And until the next moment, bye-bye. Hello, if you were drawn to the Salt and Sea Energy Oracle deck, bienvenidos to your reading. So when meditating on the energy of this group, the word hungry came to mind, as well as the expression work your way around. And I also did note that my hands felt quite warm, as if heat were emanating from my hands. So I wonder if some of you are healers, like energy healers, or if you're interested in the healing arts. or if you have been told before that you have a very healing and calming touch or presence. There could also be something about your voice that may soothe and calm others or may be very relaxing to others. I just thought of a counselor, a therapist, a motivational speaker. So if you are in one of these professions, this could be serving as a confirmation that there are messages meant for you in this group, because I do feel that regardless of what your profession is, what is next is you either working with your abilities or you discovering what your innate abilities, your skills are, or you developing skills that you will end up working with or utilizing in your profession or as a professional. Interesting. This might sound a bit weird, but to me it feels like what is next is you tapping into your inner magic. And the word hunger made me think of ambition. So what is next is you feeling this hunger, this desire to explore, to create, to, I heard do more. And I don't feel like this is indicating that you're right now not doing enough. That's not at all what this is about. This more so feels like someone who is awakening to the fact that they are a creator, that they do have all these amazing abilities, or that they can create, they can build, they can mend, they can heal, or that there is so much to discover. And that fact alone awakens this hunger in them to discover all that is out there, or as much as they can. Yeah, so I'm picking up on excitement, and truly how it feels is like someone coming out of hibernation or someone coming out of a deep slumber, and as soon as they awaken, they feel hungry, starving, because all the time they spent sleeping, they weren't eating, they weren't nourishing themselves. And now that they're awake, they're ready to nourish themselves. They're ready to take the world in, to see, to feel, to sense. So you may be experiencing an awakening. It could be a spiritual awakening or something in you like ambition, a hunger for more, a desire to create could be awakening in you next. Okay, but that is what is coming through so far. So I'm going to set this deck aside. I will be working with it near the end of your reading, and I'm going to start out with the tarot. So the way I plan to do this is I'm going to look at your immediate future, your near future, and your farthest future from now. So I'm going to be pulling out quite a few cards. So we will start with your immediate future. And I'm going to be splitting the deck. Okay. So for your immediate future, we have the Six of Cups, and the clarifying the Six of Cups is the Lovers. That's crazy. Okay, and for your near future, we have the Strength card in the reversal. Interesting that a reversal came out, because I usually make sure that all the cards are in the upright when I'm shuffling the deck. Okay, but to clarify, the Strength card is the Nine of Wands. And for your farthest future from now, we have the Ten of Cups, beautiful, and the Judgment card. Okay, so let us begin with your immediate future. So I'm going to pull out more clarifiers because that's how I intended to read the card. So we not only have to clarify the Six of Cups, the Lovers card, but also the Justice card and the Three of Wands. So the Six of Cups, which also came up for group 1, by the way, but in the near future part of this reading, can indicate familiarity, innocence, nostalgia. It's a card that often hints at soulmates or strong bonds. So seeing that it's clarified by the Lovers card, which is another card that often indicates soulmates or strong bonds, soul bonds, it seems that what is next in your immediate future is a soulmate connection or a divine connection. I say divine because the Justice card came through as well, which makes me think of divine orchestration, divine intervention. It also makes me think of divine timing. And the Justice card can oftentimes indicate contracts. So it being paired up with the Lovers card, it clarifying the Six of Cups. The Justice card is making me think of soul contracts. So you are about to either come into contact with someone who you have a soul contract with, or if you have already come into contact with this person, what is next is some kind of development in your connection or relationship with this individual. The Three of Wands is a card that indicates expansion. It is a card that also can indicate long distance relationships. So, okay, I'm sensing or seeing different things here. For some of you, you may be reuniting, because the Six of Cups can indicate reunions with, it could be a soul mate or someone who is part of your soul family, or a soul who you have some kind of history with. Maybe this is a soul who you shared another life with, you have a past life connection with, or who before you and the soul incarnated into this life, you agreed to meet at a specific time in this lifetime to work something out, to maybe finish something that you started in another life, or to collaborate to create something beautiful in this lifetime. But if you do not believe in past lives, if you do not believe in soulmates and soul contracts, then it seems that what is next is you meeting someone who you will develop a very strong, deep connection with, or who will be a very important person in your life. They will play a very significant role in the development of your life. Now, this individual, whether you think of them as a soulmate, someone who you have a past life connection with, or a soul contract with or not, is someone who might be a foreigner. They might have a different cultural, ethnic background than you, or this could be someone who is currently at a physical distance from you. Because I did talk about long distance relationships. So if you haven't met this person yet, it could be because this person is at a distance from you. And what is next is them either traveling towards where you are at, or you traveling towards where they are at, or you meeting halfway. Yeah, because this rainbow in the background here, it's making me think of a bridge. It's like, oh my goodness, and below the Three of Wands is the Star card, which again makes me think of like divine orchestration, divine guidance, also something meant to be, possibly. So I am picking up on possibly a fated connection, or what keeps coming through very strongly as divine timing. Like it was meant to be that you and this individual were to meet at this moment, at this time of your lives, of your journeys. Yeah, and with the Lovers card and the Justice card, it almost feels like, or it seems like, the divine is working behind the scenes to bring you together. You are coming together because the universe, the divine circumstance made it so that you came together. They arranged it. I heard it was preordained. I just thought of the month of June. I'm seeing that we have 2 sixes. And it made me think of the month of June. And I was looking at the Six of Cups and I just thought June. So the month of June could be of significance. Maybe you or this person were born on the month of June, or it could be on the month of June that you will be meeting, or something important will be occurring in the development of this connection on the month of June, right? So let's say, for example, if you haven't met this person yet, or you feel like you haven't met them, right, and they are at a distance from you, maybe it's in the month of June where either you or this person gets an opportunity to travel where the other is at, right? And that's like a step in the development of your connection, because this is one step closer to each other, to coming into union. Right? But if, let's say, you do know this person, because the Six of Cups, as mentioned, can indicate reunions, right? So let's say this is someone that you met in the past or that you recently met, and then you went your separate ways, or you haven't seen each other in a while. Then this Six of Cups is indicated that what is next is you reuniting with this person. Maybe you getting a second chance with this person, or you getting a chance now to truly develop your connection. Maybe when you first met, there wasn't an opportunity to do so. Maybe it was like a quick meet, like your meeting was very brief. But this time around, it seems like things will be able to kick off between you both. There will be an opportunity for you to talk, to get to know each other, to spend more time together. And to decide for yourselves how you want this connection to develop, how far you want it to go. Because that's what I see with the Three of Wands. There's potential here. So the question, how far do you want for it to go, keeps popping up in my mind. So that's something that maybe the universe is allowing for you and this person to decide. But I feel like what is certain is the meeting. You were meant to meet or to interact. You were meant to come together. I don't know for how long of a period, but you were meant to come together in this lifetime and at this moment in time. I heard it's time now, it's time. But if this is someone that you recently met, that you're still in contact with, then what is next is a development in your connection, right? I feel like with the Justice card, the universe is really working behind the scenes to bring you two together, right? So yeah, you see this angel right in between the two individuals dressed in white. This angel is representing, I think, the universe, divine assistance, divine orchestration, and the angel is like the wingman, right? They're like the matchmaker, sort of, and they're kind of trying their best to, I heard, to orchestrate a meeting between you both, or more like to get you to notice the other and vice versa. I keep hearing in my mind, if you could just talk, if you two would just talk, you would hit it off, or you would see that there's something here, or that there's stuff that you guys do need to work out, or that you can work things out. So I wonder if for some this is pertaining to someone who you do know, or you do have some kind of intimate relationship with, and if maybe recently there was some kind of falling out, some kind of misunderstanding or miscommunication, and right now the universe, your spirit team maybe, is kind of working overtime to bring you two together to talk things out, right? To maybe heal your relationship, to mend it, or to clear the air, because it seems like with the Three of Wands, there is potential for this relationship to grow. And maybe the universe wants for you to see that, or wants to show you that this relationship has potential. Of course, then it's up to you whether you want to, let's say, reconcile with this person, work things out with this person, or further develop your connection or relationship with this person. But it seems like first the universe really wants for you to see for yourself that there is potential here. For others of you, if this is someone new, someone that you recently met, it sort of feels like the same thing. Like universe really wants for you to see this person. There's with the Justice card, having this person in the Justice card being blindfolded, it almost feels like you have yet to open, or someone here has yet to open their eyes to truly see the other, right? Maybe they have seen them, right? Maybe they have seen them out and about, but they haven't really seen them. And it seems like the divine is over here trying to remove the blindfold so you and this person can truly see each other, can recognize each other. Maybe this is about soul recognition, right? If for example, you and this person do have some kind of history, your souls have history with each other. It sounds very fairy tale like, but yeah, that's what I'm picking up on. But again, if you don't believe in soul contracts and soulmates, then I do sense that you are about to come together with someone who will play a very significant role in your personal development journey, personal growth journey, could be your spiritual journey as well. They could be the one helping you to awaken to certain things. They could be the one who might be inspiring this hunger I spoke of before at the start of your reading, a hunger for more, because that's what Three of Wands can represent, a desire to venture out, to explore, to get out there. So that could be the case for a lot of you. With the Justice card, I'm also sensing fairness, equality. So this connection could be one that will teach you the importance of self-respect, self-care, or it will confirm to you that it is okay to be kind to yourself, to honor who you are, and that it's not only okay, but it's important to do so. If you are in a long-distance relationship with someone who feels like home to you, someone who you can't wait to see, to reunite with, then it seems that what is next is you getting an opportunity to come together with this person, right? To be together, to be in the same space. Yeah, and now that I look at the Three of Wands, if you are in a long distance relationship, it may be your partner or your friend, your significant other, who could be flying over. I thought of flying on a plane or just traveling to you. Yeah, because the illustration in the Three of Wands made me think of someone waiting in the airport, at the airport, to receive their loved one. I also thought of traveling back home. This may be for a select few of you, but I do see you traveling to a location that will immediately feel like home to you, right? It could be because this location is your hometown, that maybe you had to leave for whatever reason. But for others of you, this could be a situation where you've never once stepped foot in this place before, but the moment that you first do, it feels like home to you. It feels familiar. It feels like this is the place that you truly belong, or you feel like you belong. So you may be finding your forever home, or I heard your true home. Yes, I will say the Justice card, this combination made me think of a destination wedding. So for those of you who are planning to get married, you are planning on wedding, what is next in your immediate future is you having your wedding. And what I'm seeing in specific is a destination wedding, or a very eccentric wedding, like non-traditional perhaps. But I heard, but very spiritual. Interesting. Yeah, the Lovers card and the Justice card also make me think of communication. So there might be communication between you and this person who you are destined to meet, let's say, before you make physical contact, before you physically come together or reunite. Or if this is about someone who you are in a relationship with, who you are getting to know, then what is next is communication between you both. You getting an opportunity to talk things out, or you getting a chance to get to know each other on a more deeper, intimate level. Because I'm sensing open, honest communication, a lot of vulnerability here, and truthfulness, sincerity with the Justice card. And I will say with the Six of Cups, the Lovers, this could be pertaining to a romantic relationship. I was kind of hinting at that, but it doesn't have to be, because, soulmates, they can be platonic, right? And this could be a situation where you're coming into union, let's say, with someone who you may develop a professional relationship with, or someone who you will end up creating something beautiful with, but not necessarily have a romantic relationship with, right? For others of you, this could turn into a romantic connection and a relationship. It will all depend, I feel, on what kind of journey you are in and what you are open to and so forth. Yeah, but I do feel like you could end up creating with this person, right? Or if not creating with them, they could be inspiring you to create. They could be inspiring you to pursue a dream, or they could be inspiring a new dream in you. And you might be doing the same for this person. Differently, in a different way is what I heard, but still inspiring something positive in them. Yeah, okay, so this is what I'm seeing for what is next in your immediate future. Things I want to point out. The zodiac signs Libra and Gemini, I believe the Lover's card is associated with the zodiac sign Gemini, could be of significance. Or the seasons, Libra and Gemini season could be of significance. I believe Gemini season does fall in June as well. So Gemini season during June could be of significance. All right, and remember, this is a timeless reading. So if the month of June has already passed, then maybe that's not a month to consider, because these cards are meant to give us information about your immediate future, right? So if June has passed, then it wouldn't make sense to consider the month of June for when, this energy might come into play. Okay, but now I'm going to move on to your near future. So we have the Strength card in the reversal, which is a card that is associated with the zodiac sign Leo, by the way. So you may be a Leo Sun, Moon, or Rising sign, or someone who is a Leo Sun, Moon, or Rising sign could be playing a significant role in your life, or Leo season could be of significance. But to clarify the Strength card, we have the Nine of Wands, the Four of Pentacles, and the Ten of Wands. Okay. Let me just check that everything is in frame. So when the Strength card shows up in the reversal, it can indicate low self-esteem or a lack of confidence. It can also indicate insecurity or self-doubt. But what I'm picking up in specific is depletion, fatigue. So with the Nine of Wands, I am sensing a little bit of struggle, right? Because the Ten of Wands can indicate needing to persevere. The Four of Pentacles can indicate holding on to something. And so you may be facing certain challenges during this time. I keep thinking of work, career. You could be facing some challenges in that specific area of life. The Four of Pentacles can indicate budgeting. So you may be experiencing some financial struggles, or you may be needing to budget during this time, or you may be trying to figure out or find ways to increase profit, to help a business out, help your business out if you are business owners, or to keep something afloat, because that's the feeling I'm getting here with these cards. It's as if someone is working overtime, working very hard, nonstop to keep something afloat, to maintain something, or to keep something going, because they're not ready to let it go. They're not ready to, let's say, call quits, or to surrender. And I actually want to see what's the card at the bottom of the Ten of Wands. So we have the Knight of Pentacles. And we have the Page of Pentacles after that. Okay, so the Knight of Pentacles can indicate hard work paying off. So yeah, this could be a situation where there's very slow progress, right? But with the Four of Pentacles being right in the middle of the Nine of Wands and the Ten of Wands, I feel like this is a situation where it's gonna take a lot, maybe a lot from you or a lot from a team to keep something afloat and to make it or help it thrive. But it is possible. It is possible. I keep thinking of a slow build, right? So this could be a business that will take time to flourish, or this could be about a career, right, that will take time to flourish, but it will flourish. And it seems like this is not a, let's say, easy journey. This is not for the faint of heart, because this kind of journey, this kind of path requires a lot of willpower, requires perseverance, and requires also a lot of faith, because there will be very challenging times in this journey, on this path. There will be a lot of times in which one might question or wonder if this is worth it, or if it's time to let go of this, if it's time to move on to something else. I wonder if you are taking a very challenging, very difficult career path, because this is, for example, making me think of someone who is studying, they're preparing themselves to become a lawyer or a doctor, right? Like a medical student. Those are not very easy let's say, careers, they do require a lot of time and a lot of studying, a lot of preparing. So I wonder if you are currently pursuing, or if you're planning to pursue something that you know is quite challenging, that does take time, that will require a lot from you. And even knowing this, you're still very willing to pursue it, right? Because that's kind of the vibe I get with the Four of Pentacles, like someone who knows what they're getting themselves into, but they're not backing down because they really want this, right? This is what they want. They cherish this. I'm seeing how this person in the Four of Pentacles is holding this coin, and it's making me think of cherishing something. So with the Strength card showing up in the reversal, there could be some doubts in your near future, but even with all the doubts, I still see you persevering, because we go from the Nine of Wands to the Four of Pentacles to the Ten of Wands. Right? So this lets me know that you're not giving up. And seeing that the Knight of Pentacles is right under the Ten of Wands, you are definitely not giving up. You're still holding on to your coin, right? You're still pursuing your dream. And the Knight of Pentacles is hinting at that. You will be seeing progress. You will be making progress. Maybe this combination here is speaking about a hurdle that will be very challenging, but you will be jumping over, like a challenge that will test you, but you will end up overcoming it. So the Strength card is simply kind of letting you know ahead of time to have faith, not only in the unfoldment of things, not only in your success, but have faith in yourself to see yourself through these challenging times, because you can and you will, right? If that is what you want, right? Because the important thing about this all is what you want. If you have no desire to continue on, then this journey might end up being even more challenging for you, because then you're pursuing something that you do not feel passionate about. And what I'm seeing here is that it is the passion, it is the love for this, it is the desire to see this through, I heard the admiration for what you are trying to achieve, that is helping you overcome the challenges, that is helping you get through these challenging times, right? And if this is about like a financial situation, you going through financial struggles, this could be a momentary storm, right? A moment in which you might find yourself needing to budget. Money could be tight, but then the storm passes, or you get through the storm and things start picking up, right? Your financial situation starts improving, right? The Knight of Pentacles with the Page of Pentacles kind of makes me think of someone getting a steady job, or having a steady income, or having some kind of savings. So maybe at this point, there is a lack of savings, or maybe you do not have a steady income, you're working part-time jobs, you're hustling a bit, but then you do find stability, right? The Strength card also makes me think of a moment of questioning, where someone maybe is questioning their career choice, their decisions, questioning whether they are on the right path or not. And that could be the challenging aspect of this all, the questioning. But as mentioned before, I feel this energy to be temporary, because I do see a silver lining. I do see that at the end of the day, you're choosing to continue, you're choosing to persevere, and not because you don't have other options, but rather because you're deciding that this is what you want to do, this is what you want to see through, or something in you is kind of nudging you to continue on, because it's hinting to you that you're very close to some kind of breakthrough. And seeing that the Ten of Wands showed up for you guys, it sort of feels like that. Like you continue on, you continue persevering because you are at the brink of a breakthrough, right? The number 10 indicates endings, right? And this being the 10 of Wands, the last minor card of the suit of Wands, lets me know that this is like the final straw. This is the tipping point where things can turn around in any one direction, right? But seeing that right under the Ten of Wands is the Knight of Pentacles, it seems like things are turning around in a favorable direction, right? Rather than it being like a breaking point, it's some kind of breakthrough. And I wonder if for a lot of you, this could be talking about like academics, because the Page of Pentacles made me think of a student. Right, so if you need confirmation of whether or not you will be moving on to the next level of your education, these cards are confirming to you that you will. Right, it's not going to be, let's say, a very easy breezy journey to that next level, but you will be making it to the next level. That is, if you decide to continue to persevere. But I will say, things might still be a little slow. Even after the breakthrough you will be experiencing, things might still run or move a little bit slow, because the Knight of Pentacles is one of the slowest knights of the deck, which is why I mentioned levels and steps, because this could be something like a career path that does have a lot of steps, a lot of levels to it. And the Knight of Pentacles could be representing you moving on to the next level, but not exactly indicating that you have finished or you have completed all the levels. Right, you're simply moving on to the next level. And so there's still a lot to work through, a lot of steps yet to climb. So just a heads up that this will still require some time. It will be a slow build. It will be something that if you persevere with it, it will grow, but it's at its own pace, very gradually. These cards may also simply be indicating a very challenging time at work or with work, where there could just be a lot of work. You may find yourself working overtime. You may be handling like challenging projects. In other words, work could be taking a bit of a toll on you. So with the Strength card, which is making me think of vitality, there is a heads up here to be mindful of your health, of your well-being, of your stamina, right? If you are investing a lot of your energy into work, remember to take time to recharge. Remember to take time for you to let your body recover. And if you can, if it's possible, to not overdo it, right? To not overwork yourself to the extent of burnout, because the Ten of Wands can sometimes indicate burnout. And with the Four of Pentacles, I'm seeing a possibility of someone not wanting to slow down or being a bit stubborn, in that they're refusing to slow down, they're refusing to take time to rest, or to look after themselves or prioritize their health. So with the Strength card being in the reversal, this is a heads up for you guys to ease on the stubbornness, to not place your health and your well-being last, because our physical bodies are not made of stone. Our energy levels do drain. So if we push our bodies too hard, if we push ourselves too hard, there will eventually be repercussions from that. So now is always the perfect time to look after ourselves, take care of ourselves. So yeah, I feel like this could be a heads up for a lot of you guys to be mindful of your health and your well-being. Okay, but now I'm going to move on to your farthest future. We have the Ten of Cups, clarified by the Judgment, while the Two of Cups and the Nine of Cups. So the Ten of Cups indicates emotional fulfillment. It's also a card that speaks of a happy family, a happy home life. And seeing that the Ten of Cups is being clarified by the Nine of Cups, which is a card that indicates wish fulfillment, you getting exactly what it is that you wanted, it seems that things are working out for you in the future. Either one or more of your wishes would have come true. And I feel like by this point in your life, you could be following or pursuing a calling, like a life's calling. With the Two of Cups, I'm seeing a happy marriage. So for those of you who do have marriage on your mind, right, I did speak of a wedding. So if you are planning a wedding or planning to get married soon, I do see you happily married in the future. and you having maybe a family or have expanded your family by this point. I do see you having settled down with somebody, or I heard you having found or created your little oasis. I keep thinking of a nice cozy house. And that's just making me think of like an ideal life or an idyllic life. So by this point, you could be living a very idyllic life, or you could be living your ideal life. I keep thinking of the word settled, but I see you having settled down. I see you feeling settled or experiencing stability in your life, experiencing security. I feel like by this point you would have found a home, or you would have built your own home. I see you having a space of your own, a space to call home. I also see you having a career, or some kind of passion, maybe like a passion project that you're working on, or something that you can get lost in, get absorbed in it. So this could be a hobby, a passion project, this could be a career, maybe a business, but I do see you having something of your own, something that you're very passionate about, something that feels maybe like a calling to you, a life's calling. But I do see you being in a very beautiful relationship. For a lot of you, this Two of Cups could be representing the connection that I was speaking up right at the start of your reading, because the Judgment card also makes me think of divine orchestration. We have more angels depicted in the Judgment card. So by this point, you could definitely be in a relationship. For those of you who are currently single, you being in a harmonious, loving relationship, or you having people in your life who you deem to be family, you being surrounded by people who you love and who love you. The Ten of Cups with the Two of Cups makes me think of you having found your tribe, or you being surrounded by your chosen family, by people who you chose to be part of your family. So I'm sensing a lot of love here. The Nine of Cups, I will say, is giving me a bit of a melancholy feeling. There's a little bit of sadness here. So I wonder if by this point in your life, maybe you're missing certain people, and maybe you are wishing that certain people would be able to experience with you the joy and happiness that you are experiencing at this time in your life. Right? So there could be some reminiscing. You could be feeling a bit nostalgic from time to time. There could also be a lot of looking back to the past, and kind of being in awe of how things unfolded, how things developed in your life, how one thing led to another. I want to see what the card at the bottom of the Nine of Cups is the Ace of Wands. Wow, beautiful. The Ace of Wands speaks of new beginnings, passionate beginnings. This card also came up for group 1, so I wonder if you were also drawn to group 1. But yeah, I feel like a very tranquil, serene life coming through with these cards. This I think that by this point in your life, things will have settled. Like if things were up in the air before, if you were experiencing a lot of instability in your life, by this point in your life, things are stable. There isn't much drama, there isn't much chaos. There's a lot of certainty in your life. I keep thinking of the word routine. It feels like by this point in your life, you have some kind of routine. There is consistency in your life. And I will say with the Nine of Cups, I wonder if this consistency, although you might be enjoying it, although you might be loving it, could be making you crave something more, right? Could be making you crave some spontaneity in your life, because that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. And seeing that the Ace of Wands is right under the Nine of Cups, yeah, I feel like there could come a point in your future where you might be craving some excitement, some spontaneity, some kind of new beginning, something that might help spice things up in your life. And it's not because your life is boring, not at all, because I'm sensing a lot of love here. It feels, like I said, very peaceful. But that tends to happen. Sometimes we crave the rush, and the excitement. We crave that hunger, that ambition that maybe we experienced at some point in our past. And that could end up being the case here for some, right? Where if you feel like something is missing, what you could be feeling that is missing is that, that's that rush, that passion, that spontaneity. And I feel like you will end up manifesting it, right? Through some kind of new beginning, maybe through a new passion project or some kind of career opportunity, or maybe an opportunity to travel, or a new connection, like a new friendship, for example. Or this could be through a resurgence of passion in an area of your life, maybe within a connection, right? This could be like, as an example, things getting heated in the bedroom with a significant other, like all that sensual passion, just coming back in full. Yeah, but if not, this could be talking about like that inner spark in you, your passionate, ambitious side re-emerging once more. If you are in no contact with like a family member, or if you had a falling out with a family member, at this point in your life, you could be wanting to, right? This is a possibility. Only take that which resonates with you. You could be wanting to reconcile with this person. You could be wanting to get in contact with this person, or try again. Try developing a relationship with this person. Yeah, because I'm picking up on like forgiveness, someone extending forgiveness to another, or someone simply wanting to mend a relationship. I also see you having a very healthy lifestyle, or a lifestyle that it suits you, that elevates you, or that allows for you to, I heard, to introspect, to self-reflect, and to grow into the next version of yourself. Interesting, because we are ever evolving. Yeah, so in other words, you're in a safe space in your future. This is very specific, but I see some of you living with relatives whilst being in a serious, committed romantic relationship. And the Ace of Wands could be indicating maybe a desire to move out, or a desire to like find your own place, or maybe travel. Could also be to relocate. Yeah, if you are, for example, in a long distance relationship, the Ace of Wands could be hinting at that. Maybe you or your significant other will be relocating to be with the other. Right? You could be leaving your hometown, for example, in order to be with your significant other. Or that could be something that you will end up contemplating, thinking about doing at this point in your life. But now I want to draw an extra oracle card to get any last messages, advice, and or guidance for you guys. Oh, okay, so 3 cards fell out, or flipped over at the same time, more like. And we have Sandcastle with everything is temporary and divine timing. I kept going on and on about divine timing, so divine timing is definitely at play here. And you also have Hermit Crab with resourcefulness, adaptability. Yeah, I feel like the Strength card, the 9 of Wands, 4 of Pentacles, 10 of Wands could be hinting at a need to be resourceful, at a need to maybe adapt with the changes, with the times. If you are experiencing some kind of bumps in your career, it could be because things in general, like globally, are not looking so great. Maybe a specific industry is taking a certain hit, and that could be causing just a lot of turbulence in general for a lot of people, right? And this could all be a result of times changing, an industry changing, or the economy changing. And so because of that, there might be a need to adapt. Adapt to the changes in order to not only survive but thrive through the changes that are happening, maybe on a global scale, or that are happening within an industry or within the economy, maybe. But we also have Island with find strength in solitude. Interesting. I said for what is in your farthest future, you having or creating your little aces. And then the card Island came through. So I wonder if during this time of your life, even though you're surrounded by a lot of loving individuals, you may be finding yourself introspecting quite a bit, or maybe needing some time alone in order to introspect or self-reflect. Or you may find yourself undergoing or going through another soul awakening, soul evolution, spiritual awakening, which is why I mentioned that at this point in your life, you will have a safe space to be yourself, to evolve into the next version of yourself. Because I do feel like by this point you might be going through some kind of another spiritual awakening, because we can go through many spiritual awakenings in a single lifetime, or through a major like personal development, personal growth, transformation. Or you may be rediscovering who you are, or getting in touch with yourself, or needing to. But yeah, these are all the messages that are coming through for you guys. Things I want to point out. I mentioned Gemini, Libra, Leo for zodiac signs. I also want to add the zodiac sign Cancer and the zodiac sign Sagittarius. So these zodiac signs or seasons could be of significance. I'm also picking up on Pisces. And let's see, hermit crabs, lions, felines, angels, angel numbers, sunflowers is what came to mind, or flowers, and rainbows could be of significance. Okay, but these are all the messages coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance and clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you're new to this channel and you wish to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. To all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them play in the background, thank you so much for that, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit guides for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. Thank you so very much, and I'm wishing you and your loved ones a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending on when you're watching. And until the next moment, bye-bye. Hello, if you were drawn to the Art Oracle deck, bienvenidos to your reading. So in meditating on the energy of this group, what I heard in my mind was almost there and tasting victory. So I wonder if you are currently on the precipice, on the brink of some kind of breakthrough, or you yourself feel like you're getting closer and closer to maybe achieving a goal, making a dream come true, or I heard mastering, maybe mastering a skill, mastering a level, or completing a level. Or I wonder if you are rooting for someone or something to win. But overall, I get this feeling or this sense of rooting for a victory, and feeling so close to a finish line. And I keep hearing in my mind, I can taste it, this victory, this win. Okay, so yeah, that's what is coming through so far. So I'm going to set the deck that you were drawn to the side, because I will work with it at the end or near the end of your reading. I'm first going to work with El Tarot to find out what is next. And I will be looking at your immediate future, your near future, and your farthest future from now. To be more specific, the farthest future, the universe, spirit, the cards will allow us to see. Okay, so I'm going to divide the deck. And we will begin with your immediate future. We have the Seven of Cups. And to clarify is the Six of Swords. For your near future, we have the Devil. And to clarify is the Four of Swords. And for your farthest future from now, we have the King of Cups. And to clarify is the Chariot. So I am going to be pulling out more clarifiers for each of the top row cards. So clarifying the Seven of Cups, we have not only the Six of Swords, but also the Five of Swords and the Three of Pentacles. So for your immediate future, I wonder if you are currently considering choices, options, because the Seven of Cups can indicate multiple options. The Six of Swords is a card that indicates transitions and moving on to calmer waters. So if you are currently making up your mind about whether or not to accept an offer, for example, or if you are currently considering what to choose, what to decide upon, I sense that soon you might be deciding to walk away from something. You might be deciding to either pave your own path, or let's say if you are deciding between multiple options, instead of forcing yourself to choose one thing, you are deciding to take a different route and choose as many options as you want. Go with as many options as is possible. You're not limiting yourself. But I do see you walking away from a suggestion is what is coming through. So it could be the suggestion of choosing one thing, only choosing one thing. Because you're deciding, no, why should I only settle for one thing when I actually want more than one thing? So I'm not going to follow the suggestion. I'm going to do it my way. And I'm going to choose and select as many options as is possible, as I want. And that's the route that you are taking. Others of you might be deciding not to settle by simply not choosing anything that is being offered to you, because you have come to the conclusion that what is being offered to you is not up to par with your standards, or it's not to your liking, it's not meeting certain expectations of yours, etc. In other words, whatever your situation may be, what I'm seeing is you not settling, you deciding to not compromise also. So the other situation I'm seeing with Three of Pentacles is some of you might be deciding to negotiate, right? You might be deciding to set your own terms and negotiate a deal that you are willing to take, right? And the Five of Swords is letting me know that if you do decide to make negotiations, you will be either getting your way, or you will be reaching some kind of agreement that you will end up being quite satisfied and happy with, right? Because I do see you coming out of this situation quite happy, right? So whether it be you walking away from something, deciding not to settle, you paving your own path, choosing your own way, or negotiating, you will be coming out of this quite happy with your decision. The Three of Pentacles is a card that indicates collaboration, teamwork. So at the end of this, I do see you working on something. You could be working with others, but I see you working on, let's say, a project or working under someone, but on your own terms. That's how it feels like to me. Like whatever it is that you're pursuing after all of this, you're doing so on your own terms, right? So this could mean that, for example, if you're deciding to pave your own path, right? If you're deciding to, as an example, no longer work under somebody else, but start your own business, you're starting your own business on your own terms, right? You're deciding how this business is going to be funded, how it's going to be developed, what the plan for it will be, etc. Right? All of a sudden, I thought of someone self-publishing their written work. So this could be a situation where a writer was considering different publishers, but at the end they decided that none of the publishers that were available or had extended an offer to them truly fulfilled all the requirements that the writer, were looking for. And so they decide to, instead of settle for a publishing company that they don't really like, to take a different route and self-publish. Now, if you are deciding to make negotiations with another, you are being advised to stand firm in your decisions and to be very aware of what it is that you are negotiating for. Or, for example, if there's some kind of contract involved, take the time to read the fine print. Take the time to truly understand what it is that you're saying yes to, what you're agreeing to. And I heard what the repercussions of something that you are negotiating for are. I'm not sure what that is about, but the Three of Pentacles does make me think that if one is not careful, if one does not pay close attention, like reads the fine print of a contract, takes the time to clarify any doubts that they have, any uncertainties, they might end up saying yes to or agreeing to something that they might not feel totally happy with, right? So I do see the potential of you walking out of a situation truly feeling and knowing that you got what you wanted, or that you're the one who walked away with the better half of something, is what I heard. That is if you take your time, right? And also if you stand firm in your decision. Again, if you don't settle, or most importantly, if whatever you end up agreeing with is something that you truly want and are okay with, right? Because for example, if in the moment you decide to say yes to something that you're not very sure about, that you feel like you are compromising on, but in the moment you're like, it's okay, right? I can settle for that. Later on, you might end up regretting it, is how it's coming through. Because the Three of Pentacles does give me this vibe of someone being frustrated or irritated with a fact. And that fact could be that, for example, they said yes to something that they truly wanted to say no to, right? So as an example, this is a silly example, but let's say person A is asked by person B what they want to eat that afternoon. Like, what do you want to eat this afternoon? And person A replies to person B, whatever you want. When in reality, person A wants to eat tacos that afternoon. They've been craving tacos and they want to eat tacos. But instead of letting person B know that that's what they want, they decide to not be completely honest and compromise by telling person B, you can choose our dinner this afternoon and I'll be okay with it. And after person B decides to choose anything but tacos, that's when person A finds themselves being quite upset and regretting the fact that they didn't say what they wanted to eat, that they didn't put that option on the table. So basically what I'm picking up on is a suggestion to be honest with yourself about what you want, and to consider if something is not up to par with your standards, if it's not to your liking. You're being suggested to not dismiss that, because you're being let known you can negotiate, and you can get what you want if you decide to negotiate, if you decide to stand firm in your beliefs, if you decide to look for alternatives or other options. You can end up getting what it is that you want. So again, the suggestion would be to not settle. Okay, so this is what is coming through for your immediate future. Now I'm going to move on to your near future. And I apologize if I move the cards around a lot. It's just, I'm trying to make sure that everything is in frame. Okay, but for your immediate future, we have the Devil, clarified by the Four of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so the Devil card is associated with the zodiac sign Capricorn. So Capricorn season or Capricorn sun, moon, or rising person may be playing a significant role in your near future. But the Devil card oftentimes reminds me of contracts. It makes me think of commitments. It is also a card that is often associated with career, status, and one's reputation. So, in your near future, I see you quite busy with work, or I see you working a lot or focusing a lot on your career, on your profession, on a profession or line of work. The Eight of Pentacles, which is clarifying the Devil card, is often a card that can indicate a workaholic tendency or behavior. And Seeing that we have the Four of Swords right next to the Eight of Pentacles, which is the card that can indicate rest, I am seeing that in your near future, you could be taking a small break from work, but I'm sensing that the period in which you might be taking some kind of break, maybe going on a vacation, or detaching yourself from work, from your career, is going to be very short. It's going to be short-lived. So this could be like a short hiatus. This could be you going on a short vacation, because after you take this break, I see you making either a strong comeback or returning to work without delay, right? What I saw in my mind's eye was someone who just got off the plane, and instead of, going home to rest for a couple of days to recover from the jet lag, they immediately set off to work, right? It's like they don't give themselves a day in between to transition from being on a break to now working. They immediately set to work. And once they do, they get absorbed in their work. And the Two of Pentacles is making me think that there could be some juggling going on. So either you could be taking on or working on multiple projects at the same time simultaneously, or you could be working several jobs. I wonder if some of you do have a 9 to 5, but you have a side business. You have something of your own that you're doing or working on, because that's kind of the vibe that I'm picking up here for some of you. For others of you, it could be that at this point in your journey, you will be working multiple jobs or taking on several endeavors, several projects. This could also be a situation where, let's say, if you are students, if you see yourself going back to school in your near future, then you may be studying, going to school while working a part-time job. But if right now, let's say you are unemployed or things are pretty slow at work, if there isn't much work, if let's say you work on commissions and you haven't received any requests for a commission work, then in your near future, I do see you having work. I do see you working on a commission, working on a project, or I do see you having a job. And you may start working on one project, for example, but then very soon you will find yourself working on multiple projects, right? Very soon you will find yourself, as mentioned before, possibly juggling more than one job. So if like right now you are applying for jobs, hoping to get a job, but you haven't heard anything back from anywhere that you have applied to, know that that's going to change in your near future, because I definitely do see you working. And again, if you have applied to various places and you haven't heard let's say a rejection or a no from a lot of these places that you have applied to, it's very possible that in your near future, you will be hearing back from a lot of these places with a job offer. And so the Two of Pentacles with the Devil card could be hinting at that, because you are getting so many job offers around the same time, you might end up getting tempted to say yes to more than one of these offers. Because the Two of Pentacles and the Devil card is making me think of someone who is juggling many things because they fear missing out on an opportunity, right? They fear saying no, just in case saying no will result in them missing out on a great opportunity. All of a sudden, I thought of someone who is struggling to remove items from their closet because they have this mentality of, well, what if I do end up needing to wear this at some point in my life? Like, what if I do end up needing this garment and I no longer have it? So I need to keep it just in case. So this could also be a situation where this fear of either missing out or this fear of losing at the end could have you holding on to many things at once, or saying yes to several things around the same time, which will eventually result in you juggling, right? So there is a heads up about that, to not let these sort of fears have you taking on too much to the point where you might find yourself struggling or overworking yourself, because I do see the possibility of that with the Eight of Pentacles and the Devil card. I feel like the Four of Swords is also showing up here to kind of hint at the importance of rest. Like there needs to be some rest in between, right? There needs to be a moment of slowing down in order to recharge, because if we just keep on going without rest, we might end up experiencing a burnout, which eventually will result in us needing to slow down. But we don't have to reach that kind of extreme if we do take a moment to take care of ourselves by reminding ourselves to slow down and not overdo it. So there is a suggestion here to not overdo it. And there's nothing wrong with taking on multiple projects, right? But again, just reminding yourself to not reach any kind of extreme where you are demanding way too much of yourself and stretching yourself thin, right? Wearing yourself out, trying to do it all. Because the Two of Pentacles is letting me know that there could be a point where you will need to, again, make a decision. Decide what to stay with, what to hold on to, and what to let go of. And it could be at a time where you are maybe handling way too much, or there is a lot on your plate, right? Because what the other situation I'm seeing here is if you tend to take on multiple jobs, for example, one of the jobs that you might take on could start off pretty slow, like it might not be demanding way too much of you, but as time progresses, it could become a very time-consuming job, right? It could be asking more of you than you had anticipated. And that's when you might find yourself needing to decide, well, do I remain with this job and let go of the other jobs that I have? Because having this job plus other jobs plus other projects has become way too much, right? Or do I let go of this job that is very time consuming, that is very demanding, and remain with the other jobs that I currently have or the other projects? So that is something that I feel you will need to consider in your near future. And you're being let known, if you do reach that point, that you're not doing anything wrong by needing to make this sort of decision, right? Because I feel like everybody at some point in their lives, at many points in their lives, they do reach a moment where they do need to make this sort of decision of, what do I stay with and what do I let go of? What do I prioritize? So this could be about you needing to prioritize either projects, jobs, endeavors, or this could also be about you needing to find a work-life balance, right? Because I did speak about rest, and rest makes me think of your health, your well-being. So also finding a balance between, achieving career goals whilst taking care of yourself, looking after your well-being. But I do see you making progress in your career. I do see you also earning more or making more money during this time of your life. Now, the Devil card and the Two of Pentacles can both indicate partnerships, more specifically business partnerships. So you may be entering into a business partnership, right? Or finding yourself needing to enter some kind of business partnership or business association. I feel like that will be especially true for those of you who are starting your own business or becoming entrepreneurs, etc. Yeah, if it's not a business partnership, this could be something along the lines of needing to work with a bank, right? Maybe at some point you might need to take out a loan in order to further develop a business of yours or kickstart a business. So if that is the case, just remember what was mentioned before. Make sure to read the fine print. Make sure to ask all of your questions to inform yourself as best you can. And remember, there are some things that we might not know ahead of time, because they are things that we learn along the way, right? So if you find yourself figuring things out as you are moving forward, as you are executing a plan, developing a project and endeavor, that is you learning and that is you growing. So just take the lessons with you, learn from whatever it is that you are discovering in the moment to then be able to apply it later down the road or whenever you can, whenever it would benefit you the most. But if it's not that, for example, you're taking out a loan or you're partnering up with somebody else, partnering up with an investor perhaps, I do see you signing some kind of deal or contract, right? The Devil does make me think of being contracted or being hired for a full-time position. So yeah, if you often work part-time jobs, I do see the possibility of you working a full-time job in your near future, or being offered a full-time position somewhere. Or again, you signing some kind of job work contract, you working under somebody, either full-time or for a set amount of time. Because the Devil card also makes me think of two people agreeing to work together for a specific amount of time. Yeah, the Devil makes me think of being bound to a promise, bound to an agreement, bound by a contract. Yeah, so basically what I'm seeing in your near future is you focusing on your career, you focusing on projects, or there being a lot of work, right? You being quite busy with work or with an endeavor, an enterprise. Yeah, so in the near future, I see you being quite career, goal, work oriented. But now I'm going to move on to your farthest future from now. Sorry, I got distracted. The Devil card made me think of a marriage. So I wonder if some of you are partnering up or thinking about partnering up with a spouse if you are currently married. If you are maybe starting an endeavor with a spouse. And if that is the case, I see you working very closely with your significant other to make a dream happen, or to kickstart a business, or to develop a project and an enterprise. Okay, but now I'm going to move on to your farthest future from now. And we have the King of Cups clarified by the Chariot, and the Death card, and the Six of Cups. So the King of Cups is a water sign. More specifically, the King of Cups is associated with the zodiac sign Cancer. And actually, the zodiac sign Cancer season could be of significance, because the Chariot is another card that is associated with the zodiac sign Cancer. But apart from Cancer, we also have Scorpio with the Death card. So Cancer and Scorpio season, or Cancer or Scorpio sun, moon, or rising individual could be playing a significant role in your future. Okay, so different messages, different situations are coming through, so bear with me as I go through each one. The first message that came to mind was the wait is over. So I wonder if some of you are in a long distance relationship, or if you are in a committed relationship, I wonder if you or your significant other tend to travel a lot, maybe because of work. And if that resonates with you, if that is your situation, I feel like in the future, you and your significant other will come together. Like, for example, if you are in a long distance relationship, you and your significant other will be able to be together, physically united, because the Six of Cups is a card that indicates reunions. And the Chariot card can sometimes indicate travel, speed, and the Death card, it indicates endings. So what I'm seeing here is there will be an ending to a back and forth, right? So if someone is always traveling, if there's always separation because of physical distance, because of someone's need to constantly be traveling, then that will come to an end in the future, and there will be a reunion, there will be a coming together. Right. This also makes me think of like a business trip coming to an end, like a long business trip, a long journey abroad coming to an end, and that allowing for two people to come back together, to be able to be physically together. Another situation that I'm seeing is if there's a lot of uncertainty in a connection, in a relationship, if you and another are always hot and cold, that uncertainty will be coming to an end in the future. Because the other thing I'm sensing with the Chariot card and the Death card is that the period of chasing, or the chasing, will be coming to an end. There will be no more chasing. Or the other thing that I'm seeing is there will be no more running away. Right? Two people will finally be able to come together. Two people will be able to finally sit with each other and be honest with one another. Open up to each other. The Six of Cups can indicate vulnerability, right? So if right now or at some point you find it difficult to communicate with someone who's very important in your life, or who has become a very important, significant figure in your life, then in the farthest future from now, you will be able to communicate with this person openly. You will be able to talk things out with this person. The Six of Cups also makes me think of an apology. So there could be some like apologizing going on in the future, but this feels more like sincerity. Like now we are able to be honest with one another. Now we are able to, I heard we are able to commit to one another. So, because the Devil card showed up in your near future, I wonder if this is a situation where someone was really busy with their career. Someone was very focused on their career that maybe they didn't have enough time to focus on other areas of their life, or they just weren't dedicating a lot of attention to other areas of their life, like love and relationships, for example, intimate connections. And in the farthest future from now, things are changing, right? Where now they are focusing on their relationships, on their intimate connections. They are prioritizing love and relationships, right? So a situation that I'm seeing is someone was, dedicating a lot of their time and energy to achieving a career goal. But then they achieve it, right? And because they have achieved their career goal, now they can dedicate more time to other areas of their life, right? Now they can focus on maybe pursuing romantic love, or focus on their intimate relationships and dedicate more energy and time to that area of life, right? The other situation I'm seeing is two people in a relationship were each focusing on their own careers. We're focusing on, earning money, making money, building a career for themselves. And because both of them were very career focused, they didn't dedicate as much time as they would want to each other, to their relationship. And in the future, that is all changing, because instead of focusing on their career, they're focusing now on each other. They're focusing now on their relationship. And it could be after they each have achieved their own career goals or their own financial goals. The specific example that is coming to mind is of a couple that is working very hard. Each of them is working very hard to earn enough money, to save enough money to buy their own house, their forever home, right? And once they achieve this goal, that's when they start dedicating more time to the family, to themselves, to their relationship, to settling down in their home and enjoying each other's company, right? If you are single, right? If you are currently single, I do sense that in the future, in your farthest future from now, you will be entering into a relationship, or you will be focusing on love and relationships. Or if you feel like you've been waiting for the one, for your partner. What is that song? What's it called? I believe it's called "Where's My Husband" by Ray. That song came to mind. Yeah, if right now you're thinking to yourself, you're wondering, where is my significant other? Then know that in the future, the search for your husband, your wife, your spouse, your significant other will be over, because you will be finding them, right? You will be coming into union with them. Yeah, the chase will be over. Or instead of the chase, it's more like the search for your significant other, the search for your spouse will be over. The Six of Cups does make me think of a proposal, like a marriage proposal and engagement. So if you are open to marriage, if that is something that you want, I do see that in the cards for you. Now, this combination also makes me think of right person, wrong time situation. So again, if for whatever reason right now you are unable to be with someone who you want to be with, who also wants to be with you because of work or because of some other circumstance or situation, then in your future know that you will be able to be with this person, right? This could be, as mentioned before, right person, wrong time kind of situation. But the cards are letting you know that in the future, you will be able to be with this person. You will be able to settle down with this person, or there will be an opportunity to come together, to commit is what I heard, or to settle down with each other, right? And I say opportunity because the Six of Cups does make me think of an opportunity, right? Like universe, destiny will give you a chance, will give you both a chance to come together, but then it will be up to you and this other person to take this opportunity. But you definitely will be free, both of you will be free to decide how to move forward. You won't be bound or tied down to anything or held back by anything. This is a time in which you will be able to freely express how you feel about each other or be with each other if you'd like to, if you'd want. I am picking up on strong romantic vibes here. I'm picking up on like a romantic relationship, on marriage, romantic partnerships. But this could also be pertaining to a platonic connection, a platonic relationship. For example, if you haven't been able to reunite with maybe a family member, or you haven't been able to get in contact with a friend, it's been very hard for you to meet up, to spend time together, to be at the same place at the same time, then know that in the future, this separation will come to an end. That's basically what I'm seeing here, a separation coming to an end, you being able to come together and be together if you want to, like live together or start a relationship or resume a relationship, deepen your bond with each other, etc. For those of you who have been applying for a visa, for those of you who have been wanting to migrate somewhere, settle down somewhere, become a citizen or a resident of a foreign country, of a foreign place, know that you will be getting your citizenship, or you will be getting your visa, or you will be able to travel in the future, especially if the reason why you want to get a citizenship is to be able to be with someone, to be able to settle down with someone. Yeah, because I am seeing the possibility of someone getting a citizenship or a visa through marriage or through family is also what I heard, through marriage or family. Okay, but now I want to draw out an extra oracle card to get any last messages, advice, and or guidance for you guys. I apologize if you hear any yelling or screaming. The kids next door are playing outside, and they are a rowdy bunch. Okay, but the cards that fell out for you are 3. Every group has gotten 3 oracle cards. But we have Yayo Kusama. I actually want to make sure I'm pronouncing the names correctly. So I believe it's pronounced Yayoi Kusama. With the message, your soul is composed of the same dots as the universe. Distinguish yourself from your mirror image. Show them your hallucinations. When I pull out cards from this deck for myself, I like to sit with them for a while to see what comes through, because the messages can be interpreted in so many different ways. So if you feel called to pause the video, reread the message, and just sit with it, I do encourage for you to do so. Also, the illustrations can be quite enlightening. But we have Vasily Kandinsky with Transcend Systems to Find Spirit. Hear music through sight. Begin with a dot. Wow! So the word dot has come out twice. Dots make me think of a starting point. In order to create something, you must first start somewhere. In order to achieve or to get somewhere, you must first start somewhere. So don't be afraid to begin. That's what came through intuitively. But let's see what else. We have Salvador Dali with Never Make an Appearance Without Controversy. Tap the unconscious and pray it isn't boring. Being Dali is inspiration enough. Oh, I really like this last sentence. Being Dali is inspiration enough. Being you is inspiration enough. Use yourself, your life as inspiration. Maybe the suggestion for you, or whenever you are in need of a muse, know that you can find your muse in you. Be your own muse. You are inspiration enough. Ooh. And the message transcends systems to find spirit made me think of a caution to not get caught up in the rat race, to not forget yourself when trying to achieve, let's say, a career goal. Do not lose sight of what is truly important is the message for you. And the the line "hear music through sight" made me think of synesthesia. So I wonder if some of you have synesthesia, or if you have a very unique perspective on the world, on things. You're being encouraged to utilize your unique perspective to create something beautiful, magical, and even transcendent in this world. Or maybe you will. Maybe you will end up creating something very, very magical. Or maybe you already have like a vision, an idea of something that you want to create. And this is your confirmation that this can definitely be created, or that you will ultimately end up creating this, making it tangible, making it real, bringing it to life, this vision of yours. Okay, but this is what is coming through for you guys. If you do feel called to look up these specific artists, please do so. I do not know much about them, so I don't know what you will find if you do end up looking them up. But if you do feel called to do so, then definitely do look them up, because you might come across some important or significant information that could end up being of help to you. But let's see, anything else I want to point out? So I mentioned the zodiac signs Capricorn, Cancer, and Scorpio. And dots, the word dot could be of significance. Ooh, the word dot made me think of A Bug's Life movie, which is a Pixar animated film, because there is a character in that movie whose name is Dot. So Pixar films, animation, A Bug's Life, the film, could be of significance. Oh, by the way, okay, I was just reminded. If you are interested to know why something is taking so long, for example, so long to manifest, I do have a video that addresses that question. I will link it down below if you are interested in watching it. The reason why I bring it up is because the theme of that video was inspired by the character Dot from the movie A Bug's Life. Yeah, and because I brought that movie up, I brought that character up, I was reminded of that video. So there could be something in that video, in those readings, that may be of assistance to you. So again, if you're interested, I will link the video down below. Okay, but these are all the messages coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading, or that it was of some help to you. If you did enjoy this video, if it was helpful, then please leave a like or a comment. If you are new to this channel and you wish to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. To all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them play in the background, thank you so much for that, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this growing channel. If you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit guides for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. Thank you so very much, and I'm wishing you and your loved ones a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending on when you are watching. And until the next moment, bye-bye.